Okay, so that definitely was a lot of content. So I wanted to spend some time going through a content recap of all the different big pieces that we went through. So the first thing that we did is we went ahead and we created the integrated development environment, which we generally in the industry called IDE. Like I mentioned before, it's where you write the code. This was Visual Studio Code, aka VS Code, and that was the solution that we used for our IDE. There are other types of IDEs, but VS Code is basically the industry standard now. The IDE looks like this. So, Visual Studio Code, same thing as VS Code. It's like a nickname for Visual Studio Code, and it looks like this. And it's an IDE. That's the main thing to remember. Okay, after we set up our IDE, we then created and set up coding assistants. These are the AIs that help you write the code for you. We access them as extensions from VS Code. The two extensions that we set up are Claude Code and GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot required us to create a GitHub account because it's a product offering from GitHub. Claude Code and GitHub Copilot look like this. They are the two tabs that are open on the right. And if you'll remember, we do access them from the IDE, which is VS Code. Also, a little bit confusingly, you can point your GitHub Copilot to be using the Anthropic models, which are basically the same models that Claude Code uses. However, because Claude Code and GitHub Copilot manage their context and their agent coding sessions very differently, the results are not one-to-one. And so what I would just say as the takeaways are that these are two different companies, it's two different software solutions, and there's two different ways of managing the context. So I recommend kind of bouncing around and playing with both and see which style you like a little bit better. I know it's really confusing. I do have a TikTok video on my channel that explains all of this. So you can pause, go watch that, come back. Once again, feel free to comment away in the Skool community because I know it's a lot. But the top of the line is that you should know how to open and close these extensions through the IDE, and that is something you will continue to get more practice with as we walk through the rest of the course. Okay, so that already was a lot, but on top of all of that, we also talked about source control. And like we said, source control is about how you share your code with other developers, and it's how you deploy your code. Deployment is the step we haven't gotten to yet, but it is coming up next in the course. Source control is managed through GitHub and Git. GitHub is the platform and Git is the language. GitHub was this website that we were looking at, and it is the platform that we use. And Git is the language that allows us to interact with this platform. So there you have it. That is our big content recap. It was a lot. Feel free to take a break, get a glass of water because it's a lot of information. And please don't be shy about asking me questions because I know that there's a lot of pieces going on here.